Hey, freedom lovers, it's William Moore, and you are watching Beyond the Ties That Bind. Thanks for joining me for this episode of the program. I hope that everyone is having as good of a day as you can possibly have as America descends into chaos. Now, I'm going to show you three videos. One is from a different angle, and then we're going to watch as this incident evolves or progresses. Now, no one except the man with the bow and arrow was hurt. This man showed up to the Salt Lake City protest and he started shooting his bow and arrow at protesters. Thankfully, he missed a young black man, but then he was pummeled by protesters who were there taking part of the protest. Now, the first video I will show you, then there'll be another from a different angle, and then I'll be showing you what happened to his vehicle. So, this is the first video.
Fucking bow and arrow, man!
Apologize for the language.
Yo, someone knocked this fucker out, man! Get this motherfucker, man! Fuck him up! Shooting a fucking bow! Yo, fuck Tory Lanes. This is the most lit Instagram live of all time. We're coming to you live.
So, I'm going to show you another video now from a different angle. If you watch, you will see the young black man who jumps at this man who tries to disarm him, and where he is shot at. Like I said, thankfully the old man missed, but apparently this man showed up at the protest to shoot protesters with his bow and arrow. This is how crazy things are getting out in the streets right now. And this is what you have when you elect a government to govern over you. This is what you get when you want government. The fault of all of this lies at the feet of government, and you cannot have freedom and government coexist. This is what happens when slaves want masters. So this is what happens when you have a crime syndicate working for a criminal banking cartel, bringing everyone into debt slavery. This is the kind of atmosphere you will eventually create in America. And right now, America's descending into chaos, and you're seeing these types of scenes all over the place. This is a different angle of the same incident.
Look at this!
Why did you get my car?
You call yourself an American?
Yes, I'm American. All lives matter.
That's right, but they won't matter until we're... Don't you dare! This is his car! This is his car! What the fuck?
Fuck him up! Fuck that bitch up!
Once again, pardon my language. Definitely a pile on, and this guy, he got whipped pretty good, as we're about to see in the next video. Okay guys, what we're about to see is what happened to the guy's car after he was arrested by police and taken away from the scene. Don't know if State Farm's going to cover that one. Okay, so the gentleman who got the crap kicked out of him apparently was not arrested because he gave an interview to Fox 13 in Salt Lake City just a few minutes after the incident. Now, we're going to listen to the interview he gave with Fox 13, and he's going to describe the events. Now, I don't know why, but how he describes it and what we witnessed in the video seemed to vary a little bit. There seems to be a slight difference between this man's telling of events, his name's Brandon, and what we actually saw on the video.
Tell me your name one more time.
Brandon McCormick.
Brandon McCormick, he says his car was turned over and set on fire because he yelled, "All lives matter." What happened?
I got beat up. Well, first I got beat up when I yelled, "All lives matter." Then I pulled out weapons, then I got beat up some more. Then the cops grabbed me and my car got totaled, and phone, everything. I lost everything. Coming down here to try to protect them with what weapons I had, because I am a chick felon. I've changed my life, and I back up the law enforcement. You know, I know some cops are bad. I know some people, all races are bad.
Did the police come and rescue you? What happened?
Finally. But I lost my car. I lost my phone.
How badly is your car damaged?
Well, I seen it on fire, so it's totaled. And everything I had, and I had probably another $1,000 worth of stuff in my car.
Bob,
And what
can you-
happened to the people who turned your car? Nothing.
I don't know if it got turned over, I just know it got totaled.
Can you ask
Kirsten.
him, was he in the car when the protesters approached him and tried to flip the car over?
Were you in the car when when they turned it over?
No, they didn't. I don't know if they turned it over or not. They beat me up, and the cops came and got
You were in the car at the time?
Yes, and then they torched it after the cops took me, including my phone. I can't even call for a ride. So I've been marching with these people all the way down here and all the way down here, trying to convince them all lives matter. These cops didn't do it. Some cops are bad, some cops are...
How did you get hurt on your forehead?
Because I yelled out my window, cops...
Did somebody hit you with something?
Yes, 2 black and African Americans. They beat me through my open window that I yelled out, "All lives matter."
All right. All right. Brandon, I hope you get better. You should go to the doctor, get that thing looked at.
I can't afford to. I'm on unemployment.
All right, Bob Evans, speaking...
Okay, so apparently Brandon got the shit kicked out of him so badly that he couldn't remember what happened just a few minutes prior to this interview. As we saw on the video, Brandon was not in his vehicle when he was pummeled. So you have, there's a difference between Brandon's recollection of what happened and what we saw in the video. However, this is what happens when you have government. This is exactly what happens when you have government. A lot of people will say, well, this is anarchy, what's going on right now. No, this is not anarchy. Anarchy just means without rulers, not without rules. Okay? I would rather live in a world without rulers and take my chances with dangerous freedom than live in a world of peaceful slavery, because slavery can never be peaceful. You're always going to have people resist oppression. You're always going to have the oppressors abuse those which are under them. The rulers will abuse those people who are their slaves, who are working for them. Government always abuses people. And you know, Black Lives Matter, please, give me a break. It's not about blacks. It's not about just whites. It's not about just red people. It's not about just yellow people. All people are being oppressed by this banking cartel. Every last person. And you have white people who are killed by police officers as well. Just recently in Minneapolis, you had a white woman who was shot by a police officer. What was her crime? She was white. You have this type of activity taking place in every ethnic group out there. It doesn't matter. Red, brown, yellow, black, and white. You aren't shit in their sight, and I'm talking about the government. You're not precious in their sight. You are nothing more than a pile of crap. And if you can't produce for them, they'll put you down. That's all this is. This is government oppression of the people. Get rid of government and you wouldn't have scenes like this taking place all across America. This is what happens when you have an oligarchy. And you're going to have people resist oppression, resist slavery. It happens all the time. You're going to have people fight back. And, you know, the American experiment is coming to an end. And this American experiment was started in 1787 with the drafting of the United States Constitution. So anyway, I'm going to, end this here. But you have what's going on in America right now. America is descending into chaos, not into anarchy, because we still have rulers. It's descending into chaos. And the only reason we have chaos is because we have rulers. And, well, real quick here. I now see why they put Donald Trump in office. They wanted this polarizing figure. They wanted some idiot who would say just anything, who would spout off things off the top of his head without even thinking, which would make things worse, which would incite this type of violence, which would cause people to get fed up with what's going on in America. And I still believe Smokin' Joe will not be the Democratic nominee for president. That something will happen and it will be Hillary. And then we can all sit back and say, yeah, this was part of the plan. And we're going to see more tyranny and oppression and despotism than we've ever seen before. People, we need to be peaceful about this or we're going to lose, because they're going to bring in the big guns. And believe me, they have them. And they're not afraid to wipe out their own individuals within their country. I'm not going to call them citizens, because citizen means you're a subject, a slave. They're not afraid to wipe out individuals in their own country. They did it on 9/11. They did it at Waco. They did it at Ruby Ridge. They did it at Oklahoma City. They're not afraid. They will slaughter as many as they have to. The only way to get them is through a peaceful abolishment of government. This is William Moore. Until next time, peace.